Imagine this. It's 7:42 p.m. on a regular Tuesday evening. You're relaxed, scrolling through your phone, when suddenly, click, silence. Darkness swallows the room. The familiar hum of your fridge is gone. The glow of your Wi-Fi router disappears. Even the street outside is eerily quiet. In that chilling instant, you realize the truth. You have no idea what to do next. Now, here's the difference between those who make it through a blackout and those who don't. It isn't luck. It isn't just hoping the lights will flicker back on. Survival comes down to 9 very specific rules. Rules that transform fear into control and panic into confidence. While your neighbors stumble around in confusion, fighting over dying phone batteries, you could be calmly running a plan that might literally save your life. Most people believe a blackout is just an inconvenience, like a Netflix night ruined. They're wrong. Dead wrong. History has already proven this. During Hurricane Sandy in 2012, people didn't just suffer from flooding or strong winds. Many died from things like carbon monoxide poisoning, hypothermia, and dehydration. Tragedies that were completely preventable, if only they had known these survival rules. And that's why you need to pay close attention. Because when the grid goes down, the first mistake people make is treating it like a temporary pause in normal life. They wait for someone else to fix it. They assume help is on the way. They burn through precious phone battery posting on social media about how crazy this is, while every second that passes pulls them closer to disaster. Here's the harsh truth. No one wants to admit, modern society is just 3 days away from total collapse without electricity. 3 days, that's all it takes for grocery store shelves to go bare, for gas pumps to stop working, and for clean water systems to shut down. We've seen it happen. In the Texas freeze of 2021, families were melting snow for drinking water, burning furniture to keep warm, and some even froze to death inside their own homes. Not in the past, in America, in the 21st century. So why did some survive while others didn't? The answer is simple. They had a system. They had already prepared. They knew exactly what to do, step by step, because they practiced the same 9 rules I'm about to reveal. While others called 911 hoping for rescue, these people were already 3 moves ahead. And here's something you must understand. During a citywide blackout, you're on your own. Emergency crews get overwhelmed. Police can't respond to every call, and even hospitals only have backup power for a limited time. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. That's why the very first 30 minutes after the lights go out are critical. What you do in that half hour determines whether you stay in control or become just another name in the casualty statistics. So let's get into rule number 1, because if you miss this, the game is over before it even begins. Rule number 1, execute the 3-minute light protocol and do it immediately. Not later, not when you get around to it. Right now, because the second everything goes dark, 3 dangerous things happen at once. Panic spreads, accidents multiply, and predators start looking for opportunities. And yes, predators, because when the lights go out, the wolves come out to play. But most people waste those first critical moments fumbling for their phone, tripping over furniture, trying to figure out if the blackout is just their block or something bigger. By the time they get their bearings, they've already lost the most important advantage: psychological control. The 3-minute protocol is simple. You have exactly 3 minutes to establish lighting throughout your entire living space. Not just one room, every key room. Your command light, a reliable flashlight, should always be within arm's reach of where you spend most of your time. That's your first move. Use it to activate your lighting stations. Yes, stations set up in advance around your home. Battery lanterns in the kitchen, living room and bedrooms. Glow sticks in bathrooms because they're waterproof and last for hours. But here's the advanced move most people miss. Once your home is lit inside, you need to control how it looks from the outside. Close the curtains, shut every blind, block every window. Because in a city-wide blackout, a house glowing like a lantern is a signal to desperate strangers. We have supplies. Come get them. You don't want that kind of attention. The psychological power of light is huge. When you can see clearly in a blackout, your brain stays calm, your family looks to you for direction, and you instantly step into the role of leader. While others are still asking, "Honey, where's the flashlight?" you've already won the first round. And if you've followed this rule properly, 3 minutes have passed since the power died, and you're no longer in panic mode, you're in control. Which brings us to rule number 2. The next step that must be done within 10 minutes of the blackout. Because after light, your most urgent resource is water, and your chance to secure it is vanishing fast. Think about this for a second. You turn on your faucet in the middle of a blackout, and water still flows. Feels like a relief, right? But here's the dangerous truth. Just because it's running now doesn't mean it's safe, or that it will keep flowing much longer. Water treatment plants rely on electricity, and without it, contamination spreads fast. What looks like clean drinking water today could turn into a toxic brew tomorrow. That's why rule number 2 is called the water fortress strategy, and it's exactly what separates survivors from victims. The very first thing you do is collect everything. Fill your bathtub, fill your sinks. Every pot, pitcher and bucket in your home becomes a reservoir. That bathtub alone, it's 30 to 50 gallons right there. But collection isn't enough. You need to treat while you collect. Every gallon must be purified. Drop in a water purification tablet, or if you don't have those, use plain unscented bleach, 2 to 3 drops per gallon. This isn't about taste. This is about staying alive 3 days from now when dysentery could strike the unprepared. Now let's talk numbers. The math doesn't lie. You need 1 gallon of water per person per day just for drinking. Add cooking and hygiene, and the real number is closer to 1.5 to 2 gallons per person per day. If you've got a family of 4, that's at least 8 gallons every single day. For just 1 week, you're staring at a need for 56 gallons. Suddenly, that overkill bathtub stash doesn't look so crazy anymore, does it? But Water Fortress isn't just about filling containers. It's about securing renewable sources. If it rains, use buckets, tarps, or even a clean plastic sheet to collect fresh rainwater. Don't overlook your hot water heater either. That's another hidden reserve of 30 to 50 gallons, as long as you shut off the intake valve before the city pipes run dry. The most prepared survivors I know, they can lock down over 100 gallons of clean water within the first hour of a blackout. While everyone else is still saying, maybe this will be over soon, these people have already solved the most critical problem of all, hydration. And now we move to rule number 3. This one is brutal, because it decides how well your family eats, or whether they end up eating spoiled food that could land them in the hospital. Rule number 3 is called food triage and power-free cooking, because when the electricity dies, your fridge goes from being your best friend to your biggest enemy. Here's the reality. If you keep the door shut, your refrigerator might stay cold for 4 hours. A full freezer, maybe 24 to 48 hours. After that, you're looking at a bacteria breeding ground that could poison you faster than starvation ever would. So here's how you handle it. Like a battlefield medic, you triage your food supply. Step 1, eat what's going to die first. Cooked leftovers, dairy, anything with mayo. Use it or lose it, because those foods turn deadly in no time. Step 2, fresh meats, fish and poultry. If you can cook them, do it immediately. If you can preserve with salt or drying, even better. Step 3, know what to throw away before it kills you. Sometimes survival means letting go of what's unsafe, no matter how much you hate wasting food. But here's the real trap. Most people have no way to cook without electricity. Suddenly, their shiny kitchen is useless. Their stove, oven, microwave, even their coffee maker, nothing works. And that's when panic sets in. But not you, not if you prepare. A small portable propane stove with extra fuel canisters is a game changer. It can boil water, cook rice, heat soup, even fry an egg. Just always use it outside or in a ventilated area, because carbon monoxide will take you out faster than hunger ever could. Another overlooked option, a solar cooker. It won't cook as fast as your oven, but with nothing but sunlight, you can roast meat, simmer stew, or even bake bread. I've used mine just for practice, and trust me, it works. Here's an advanced move most people ignore. Create a 72-hour meal plan, using only shelf-stable foods and your alternative cooking gear. Practice it while the power is still on, because the middle of a blackout is no time to be fumbling through an instruction manual by flashlight. Canned soups, chili, vegetables, these become your foundation. Rice, pasta and beans, add bulk and energy. Peanut butter, crackers and granola bars don't require cooking at all. And here's the part everyone overlooks: comfort food. Because when your world has been turned upside down, a simple piece of chocolate, a cup of instant coffee, or a cookie can keep morale alive. And in survival, morale is as important as calories. But food is just the beginning. Because when the lights go out for days, another invisible enemy creeps in, and it's not something you can see, but it can kill you quietly while you sleep. That's where rule number 4 comes in. Here's the cold truth. Losing control of your environment can kill you faster than hunger or thirst. Rule number 4 is all about winning the temperature war, because whether it's the freezing bite of winter or the suffocating heat of summer, the wrong strategy can turn your own home into a death trap. Let's start with cold. Hypothermia is a silent killer. It doesn't hit you like a heart attack. It sneaks in slowly. First you shiver, then you get tired, confused, clumsy, until your body just shuts down. Every winter blackout, families die inside their own homes because they make one fatal mistake. They try to heat the entire house instead of focusing on survival in one space. Here's the smarter move. Choose a single room, preferably the smallest one, and turn it into your survival sanctuary. Seal it off with blankets, plastic sheeting, or anything that blocks drafts. Think of it like camping indoors. Layer your clothing, wrap up in sleeping bags rated for low temperatures, and use emergency mylar blankets. Don't just wrap them around yourself, hang them on walls and over windows. They'll reflect heat back into your space, doubling your insulation. Remember, your body is a heater. Every person generates roughly 100 watts of heat. 2 people in a sealed room can raise the temperature by several degrees, so don't spread out, huddle together. That simple choice could mean the difference between comfort and collapse. Want an advanced survival trick? Use thermal mass. Heat up bricks, stones, or even water bottles with your alternative cooking gear, then bring them into your survival room. Wrapped in towels, they act like mini radiators, releasing warmth for hours. Just don't put them directly against your skin. You don't want burns. Now flip the script. What if the blackout hits in the middle of a blazing summer? Heat quietly kills more people every year than hurricanes, tornadoes, or floods. When the power dies and your AC shuts off, your home becomes an oven. Here's your summer protocol. In the daytime, seal your house. Close blinds, curtains, and cover sun-facing windows with reflective material. Aluminum foil or emergency blankets work perfectly. When the sun goes down, do the opposite. Open windows on opposite sides of the house to create cross-ventilation. Move air with battery-powered fans, or even hand fans if that's all you've got. A little airflow can make unbearable heat tolerable. And here's a little-known hack: evaporative cooling. Hang wet towels in front of open windows. As air passes through, evaporation lowers the temperature by several degrees. Another tip: basements. Underground spaces stay 20 to 30 degrees cooler than outside. In a heat wave, your basement is your survival bunker. But I need to warn you, never ever use charcoal grills, gas stoves, or kerosene heaters indoors to fight the cold. Carbon monoxide is odorless, invisible, and deadly. Every winter blackout, emergency rooms see families who made this fatal mistake. Don't be one of them. Now, once you've secured light, water, food, and temperature, there's another threat that most people ignore until it's too late: information blackouts. That brings us to rule number 5. Because when disaster strikes, communication isn't just helpful, it's survival. Your smartphone feels like your lifeline. But here's the ugly truth. Cell towers only run on backup power for 8 to 24 hours. After that, your phone becomes nothing more than an expensive flashlight. And even before then, networks jam when everyone's trying to call, text, or scroll at once. That's why smart survivors never rely on a single communication method. Your first lifeline is a battery-powered or hand-crank emergency radio. Forget entertainment. This is about receiving life-saving information. NOAA weather radio, AM/FM broadcasts, emergency alerts, radio waves still cut through when everything else goes down, but receiving isn't enough. You also need to transmit. That's where two-way communication comes in. Walkie-talkies with decent range can connect you to family, neighbors, or even other prepared individuals nearby. Some can reach several miles and don't rely on any fragile infrastructure. Keeping devices powered is the next challenge. That's why every prepared household has solar chargers and hand-crank power banks. Solar chargers work even in cloudy conditions, just slower. And hand cranks, 15 minutes of cranking can give you enough power for a vital call. Here's a pro move. Set up a communication schedule with your family in advance. Agree on times to check in, backup methods if phones fail, and even physical meeting points if digital contact is impossible. When chaos hits, a clear plan prevents panic. And don't forget your car. It's more than just transportation.